keys are to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
What is up, everyone? We got absolutely breaking news I wasn't expecting to be going on right now, but I'm coming on because the 49ers have made a move for Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is coming to San Francisco in a trade. Of course, it's been reported by Adam Schefter. It's been reported by Ian Rappaport, and the 49ers make a move for a big-time player to add. We've dreamed about the possibilities of Christian McCaffrey in Kyle Shanahan's offense, and now we're going to get to realize that because we're going to get to see it up close and personal, and the chat is lighting up right now. So let's go over what they gave up, but they're going to bring Christian McCaffrey here. 49ers trade a lot for a running back, and boy, is it about to be a 1-2 punch in San Francisco. So the full terms, here's what it is. This is according to Ian Rappaport. He says the 49ers get running back Christian McCaffrey. The Panthers are getting the 49ers second-round pick in 2023, third-round pick in 2023. So second and third, that means the 49ers don't have they give up the second, third, and fourth-round picks in 2023 and a fifth-rounder in 2024. The 49ers do no longer have picks in rounds 1, 2, 3 of next year's draft. In fact, no fourth round pick either. So they're going to be counting on compensatory picks, I'm sure. What a running back room is right. And I'm going to make sure to get involved with all the comments. B Fish says, is this real? This is real. Legitimately reported by Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport. The 49ers have made a move for Christian McCaffrey. I know it doesn't seem correct, but I got a bunch of text messages all at once. One was a screenshot from Jay Hill. You'll guys see him on the Ant Hill show, and he hit me up right away. Sent it from Adam Schefter. Schefter calling the move a stunner. But CMC, like Brad Jones says, is more than a running back. And Siggy says, this isn't April Fool's, is it? No, it's not April Fool's. This is true. This actually happened. Yeah, and Bomber T says, why watch the draft next year, right? I did a draft party this year. Me and Alex did a draft party. I don't know if we're going to do a draft party this time. I mean, what's the point, right? They're not going to be picking. Of course, they will get some third-round picks back because D'Amico Ryans, of course, is going to leave, and they're going to have all that. Freak Stomp says, we have 2 third-round picks, comp picks. So there you go. We will have third-round picks, which are at the end of the third round, those early fourth-round picks. I mean, that's where we got Danny Gray. So that makes a lot of moves, but the possibilities now, and Paul comes through with the big question, who gets cut? I think that it's got to be Tevin Coleman. I mean, they could probably make a move in another area right now. They don't have to decide that today. But yeah, Christian McCaffrey comes to the 49ers, and the 49ers give up their 2023 second, 2023 third, 2023 fourth, and a 2024 fifth. They paid a lot to get Christian McCaffrey, and Frank is coming in and saying if we win, they get OBJ. But the possibilities of using Christian McCaffrey in this offense to go along with Deebo Samuel, to be honest with you, yes, I had the thumbnail ready. I was prepared in case this happened, but I did not actually expect it to happen. And Frank is saying, maybe Jordan Mason gets released. It could be. But it shows right here that the 49ers are all in on winning this year. They're not backing down. They want to win. Christian McCaffrey is a huge signal in that direction. And can everyone imagine now what happens when Elijah Mitchell comes back after the bye? You're going to have Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell as a 1-2 punch to go with Jeff Wilson Jr., who's been carrying the load. This is spectacular. I can't wait for formations that start with McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel in the backfield. That's what I'm looking forward to. All of those things are going to be crazy. Ziggy says, so we are the Rams now. I think what it's a signal is, you know what, Lynch and Kyle, they think this is the year. They're going to win the Super Bowl this year. They're going all in. You know what this is? This is an Eddie DeBartolo kind of move. They're going all in on it. And you know what? I can't hate them for it. I can't hate them for trying to go in and win this Super Bowl. And they think they have a possibility, they have a chance. And I love that. I love the aggressiveness of it. It's a bold move. They gave up a lot. But it's exciting, right? Why not get excited about Christian McCaffrey? I don't expect him to play this week. That would be interesting. But if he's for sure going to be ready to go versus the Rams, we're going to have Christian McCaffrey to play against the Los Angeles Rams. I just did not expect to see it at all. I mean, it's wild. Mr. Corey says, as long as we didn't have to give up Elijah Mitchell or Ty Davis Price, I don't care about the picks as we already have talented, deep roster. Health is the only issue. And we're going to get more third-round picks, more comp picks, but the 49ers feel they're that close. Exciting. You know, there could be other moves, other things going on. What's up to everyone filling up chat? I'm glad you guys are all here late on a Thursday night. And Frank says, Tevin knows Kyle's offense. He does, because Mr. H said trade Coleman. I don't know if there's a trade partner out there for Tevin Coleman. They signed him off the street. I think Coleman is somebody Kyle counts on. But they might be going to Tevin Coleman and saying, hey, you know, we're going to release you, but we'd like to sign you on the practice squad. But yeah, Frank says we're going all in. And Paul says, okay, Coleman can go. We can get him back. McCaffrey is a one-cut runner. He should give us some speed that we lost with Mostert. If he can stay healthy, and could be great. This is what I've been talking about over the last several weeks, is the 49ers needed to go to an offense now that fits what Jimmy Garoppolo did, back to the outside zone, back to the things they did then when they had Raheem Mostert and those guys. They needed to go back to that. This is a move showing that with him and Elijah Mitchell, they can now do that. This offense is going to take off. Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be able to get outside the pocket, moving the pocket. They're going to do a lot of things creatively that way to move linebackers and defenders horizontally to create windows for him to throw the ball. This was necessary. The running backs they had been bringing in had fit what Trey Lance was going to do on offense. 49ers are having to make a midseason move, but they go all in. This is what they did with Emmanuel Sanders. So trade deadline November 4th. Another trade coming, Ant? I don't know. What do you have left? I mean, you're cleaning the cupboard here to get CMC. You lose a second, a third, a fourth, a 2024 fifth-round pick. That's a lot. You're getting a dynamic player, somebody that's proven to be an offensive, juggernaut, and you're going to get him with Kyle Shanahan. But I love what Joe Vio's saying. Woo! Yeah, it's exciting, and it's a cheap move. It's a really cheap move as far as financially. But I was just talking to Jay in the Bay earlier tonight. He messaged me about Christian McCaffrey. That was probably like 7:45. I told him I make the move if the price is right. I did not expect them to spend this much draft capital, but it's like Frank said, they're going all in on with this move and all in on this season. T. Gonzalez says 49ers draft great in late rounds. Good point. And with DeMeco Ryans leaving, that's 2 third-round picks, compensatory picks. More than likely, they're going to get some picks when Jimmy Garoppolo walks. You get a pick coming back when Azeez Al-Shire leaves, potentially Mike McGlinchey. So they're going to re-get some of these picks back in compensatory style. So you're going to make up for some of that. But Frank says Eddie D was in the house 7 weeks ago, right before Jimmy re-signed. I wonder what they talked about. Interesting. I like that. And Mark Graves says awesome move. So overall consensus so far is pretty good. Mr. Corey says, I just hope Jordan Mason isn't released. That would temper the excitement. Yeah, lots of people loving Jordan Mason. And Bomber T says it wasn't a bad move. Could have been worse. So I love it, Bomber T. I love the positive nature. And Frank says, we are auditioning for OBJ. Just win, baby. They're going to make sure that they have a roster that can go out there and win a Super Bowl. All in for the 49ers. As a fan, I'm super excited about that. Win that championship. Get it done. But now when you make these kind of moves, you better win. So, Joel, the 49ers gave up the 2023 second-round pick. They gave up a 2023 third-round pick, a 2023 fourth-round pick, and a 2024 fifth-round pick, according to Ian Rappaport. So, that's a very hefty sum. Now, as it was pointed out earlier in chat, the 49ers do have another third-round pick that's a comp pick. I don't know if it's that one, which one was given up. So they will have a third-round pick left, but they will not pick in the first round in 2023. They won't pick in the second round. They won't pick in the fourth round. So they are definitely trading away a lot of draft capital to bring in Christian McCaffrey. And Marvin Rose says, great runner, great receiver out of the backfield. The way Kyle Shanahan is going to be able to scheme it up is going to be dynamic. It's really, really going to be dynamic. I'm loving it overall. So it's going to be exciting. Brad Jones says, if we could have kept the 4th rounder, I would have been a little happier. Yeah, I mean, you're always hoping to keep something, right? So I'm sure John Lynch has weighed this and felt that this was a necessary move. And T says, will he be able to play this week? That I don't know. It's Thursday. So there probably could be potential. I don't know exactly, what the process is. I'm sure he's going to have to come through for a physical, which I'm sure he'll pass, but you're going to have that. And then, I don't know if he can get ready in this offense. I've seen players do it before. Kyle could come up with a few things you could use him in. But I think realistic, the Rams is for sure. He's going to be playing next week against the Los Angeles Rams. This week, more up in the air. We'll see what happens. But I think next week, it is for sure. Frank says CMC just renegotiated 1-year rental, $1.6 million. We can afford OBJ. So yeah, his number this year was hugely cheap. The 49ers are making moves. And Bomber T says Debo, Mitchell, Wilson, CMC, Coleman, and Mason. Wow. Yeah, the run game is all there. Mr. Corey says, so we ended up getting the guy it could have been instead of Solomon Thomas. Why'd you got to point that out, Mr. Corey? Why'd you have to go do that? But you're right. It did. And I think that's interesting. T.O. says, is Sue coming next? Why not, right, T.O.? Why not bring in Ndamukong Suh? If you're going all in, go all in. Frank says, F the picks. Rookies are not guaranteed. He's going full Rams right now. F those picks. Very funny. Joel says, we're getting a comp pick for D'Amico. Yes, exactly. And also maybe Rand Carthon. He's within our organization. He's interviewed around the league for GM jobs. There's potential for him to go as well, and more comp picks coming back. So yeah, and we should have some comp picks. Yes, we will. And if McCaffrey ended up leaving, you would get comp picks back for McCaffrey leaving. So there you go. And JLE says Kyle hates rookies anyways, right? It's so good. What's up, Hamad? I hope you're having a good one. Welcome into chat. Siggy says trading for his awesome, but what's the salary cap hit? It's not big this year. Like Frank said earlier, $1.6 million. There is money, but there's an out. So if they want it to be a 1-year rental, they can get out. They can renegotiate his contract. They got a lot of things they can do for sure. And Forktal says, for real, McCaffrey, yeah, this is not a joke. It's not a drill. I had to do a lot of double checks. My phone is still lighting up right now from everyone texting me, letting me know Christian McCaffrey is a 49er. This is insane. It's exciting. Something 49ers can be fans about. I'm definitely excited. And Warren is in chat. He just sent me a text. I saw it a little bit ago. Crazy, Ant. We were just talking about this. Let's effing go. I'm with you, man. It's exciting. And why not be excited? I think we deserve this as 49er fans with all the injuries and stuff. Not KNDR comes in again. I don't know if he meant to be from not KNDR, but he's in chat. And we got a super chat from Jag. Wow. This shows that we're trying to win now. Absolutely, Jag. The 49ers are all in on trying to win a Super Bowl. You don't go grab Christian McCaffrey. You don't go make that move unless you are going in to win the Super Bowl and you have an absolute belief that you can do so. What a huge move and a huge signal, not only to the fan base, not only to the league, but to their own players. We're in on it. And Rocco says it's a good trade. I love that, Rocco. And Mr. Corey says, what did we really need all those picks for with a deep roster? Every pick except one made the team, including an undrafted player. Yeah, I mean, you're right? It's a really deep roster. And Osmosis says, wow, is all I can say. That's how I felt. I had almost forgot that I had prepared for this and already made a thumbnail. I was like, oh shoot, I gotta make it. I already got this. Like I'm ready to roll. I had a feeling earlier in the week and I kind of just took a shot. Yeah, exactly. And Alpha Romeo says, and TO. This is crazy right now. Exciting. And Marvin says, so Debo splits left, goes out 10 cuts right. MC, you're gonna do crazy things with these guys together. TMC's dad can help get accustomed to the playbook. That's true, right? I mean, that's the McCaffrey connection's real. The McCaffrey connection is real. And for everyone that's coming in, I see KNDR asking, what did it cost? The San Francisco 49ers gave up, in exchange for Christian McCaffrey, a 2023 second-round pick, a 2023 third-round pick, a 2023 fourth-round pick, and a 2024 fifth-round pick. Yeah, exactly. It's huge. The question is, what number is Christian McCaffrey going to wear? Jeff Wilson Jr. wears 22 right now. Would Jeff Wilson Jr. be willing to change his number? Maybe. Could Christian McCaffrey do me the solid that I've always been wanting, is number 14 Christian McCaffrey? Can we get that? And everyone that watches the show knows I need that in my life. And then Luke says, Ant, can you believe they did it? Wow, I can't. I can't believe they actually pulled the trigger on it. Ridiculous. And Chris Mancuso comes through with second, third, fourth, 23 picks. Yeah, a fifth-round pick for the year later. It's a hefty price. It's a hefty price. And Golden Rush says, I will have a CMC jersey. I want one too. I'm excited. I mean, I love this. And Frank says, every Niner site is exploding, going live, LOL. Have to. It's exciting. I wanted to come on here and share it with all of you guys. Because this is one of my favorite things to do, is interact, and I knew this would be a fun one to interact with. And Luke says CMC needs to take number 14 jersey so he can be proud again. So you are on the same page with me. Well done, Luke. Well done. Mr. Corey says, don't underestimate how this might rejuvenate McCaffrey because he's never played for a winner contender. Good point. Coming back to the Bay Area, playing for one of his dad's old teams, playing for Kyle Shanahan, a Shanahan that he's familiar with. There's a lot. Plus, Kyle Shanahan can scheme some things up for him. Ronnie says, yes, all in, fam. Loving it. I'm loving that everyone's excited. John Pulse is praying for health, but if so, gonna be electric. You're right. If he stays healthy, his college number, interesting. I like that, JLE. So could he go that way? Freakstomp says CMC's expected to play. Absolutely fantastic. Could there be better news right now in 49ers land? You're looking at this daunting game against Kansas City. I mean, they're pretty darn good. Let's be honest. And then you go out and you make a move for Christian McCaffrey, and McCaffrey's going to be a big-time weapon for the San Francisco 49ers. He just is. Him and Elijah Mitchell could be the best 1-2 punch in the entire NFL after this. I mean, of course, McCaffrey's got to get back to his 2019 ways, where he had over 1,300 yards rushing, 15 touchdowns, and then had 116 receptions for 1,000. I mean, when you're a 1,000 guy, we know about 1,000 guys out here in San Francisco with Roger Craig. That's the kind of players you want on your team, and Christian McCaffrey can do that. So that's exactly what you want. And Jag comes through with another $2 super chat. Also, we get comp picks, don't we? He's a baller. Yeah, there's going to be comp picks. There's going to be players that leave, and the 49ers are going to get those. They're probably going to get one for D'Amico when he leaves as well. So, yeah, they're going to recover some of the picks, but it's a bold move by the San Francisco 49ers. It's a big move, and it's a move that they needed to do to go ahead and get things going on the offensive side of the ball. The 49ers needed to figure out a way to consistently be good, and this is one of the ways to do it, is they went and made a bold move. In 2019, it was Emmanuel Sanders. To remember what they gave up a third and a fourth for Emmanuel Sanders. So this one's definitely more expensive. You add an extra 2, and then you add a fifth another year. But I think that kind of equates with who Sanders was at the time of the trade. Bobo says, thank you, Jesus. I'm so happy. Love that. Chris says, love CMC, went against him in high school when he was at Valor Christian in Highland Ranch, Colorado. Just scared a little with his injuries. I love that you threw that in there too. That must have been fun playing against him. So well done, Chris. You're right. The injuries make you a little bit nervous. That was one of the things before the draft when I was talking about Saquon Barkley. I was willing to make the move, but it was definitely something that made a lot of people nervous, and understand it. 49er fans have just been, bitten too many times by the injury bug. So, yeah. So, Frank says not 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. Bobo says Juice and McCaffrey to return of the white boy backs. No injuries, please. I'm interested to see what McCaffrey does in this offense. And Luke says, We still need to stabilize this defensive line, and we're good. We can beat anyone if the defense gets right. How about that? And Frank's bringing up Payne. We'll see. He just tore the Rams a new one. Yeah, this is a huge move. And KDR says your draft coverage is going to be short this year. It definitely could be. But you know what? I'm hoping that the season coverage is longer. Last year it didn't go the 2 weeks long enough. This year it needs to go farther. Go into February, and I won't care about the draft 1 second. Now I will care about those mid-round picks, but I'm all in for going deep into February and winning a Super Bowl. Ronnie says Debo and CMC in the backfield to spread them out. Defense isn't going to know what's happening. It's going to be nasty. And the thing is what do you do as a personnel grouping if you have 3 potential running backs on the field? Debo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and Elijah Mitchell. How do you handle that? Maybe Elijah Mitchell starts in the backfield and he motions out. All 3 of those guys are dynamic. And with McCaffrey and Debo, they can play receiver and they can play running back. He now has 2 wide backs on his team. It's going to be ridiculous. Kyle Shanahan, got a big-time piece. When you're adding pieces to the chessboard, you want to make sure you have the right ones. It's going to be exciting. JLE says, hope not college jersey number. Lance has that. It won't be that. So they're going to be figuring that up. Devlin says, what's in your wallet? Love that. Nicholas says, I've been thinking about all day and it happened. I'm stoked. You must be really stoked, especially Nicholas, if you've been thinking about it. Theo says, look like next year's only pick will be Mr. Irrelevant. It could be, if they go ahead and they make some more moves. Mr. Corey says, hey, let's trade for another Stanford guy, Drew Dahlman. Wanting to get the center. I like that. That's another thing the 49ers need to figure out. But maybe Daniel Brunskill's the answer. We'll find out. Maybe Alex Mack. Maybe this signals to Alex Mack like Luke Luna's been saying. That would be ridiculous. Bobo says, are we done dealing? Are we getting a D player too? Your defensive player could come from a signing, and Dominican Suh is available. All you need is money. So maybe that could come. If they do need to make a trade, I'm sure they could, but they're starting to use a lot of their draft capital. They gave up a lot here. I'm so interested to hear what John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have to say about this trade. It's going to be fun, real fun. And Frank says 49ers will not pound him like Carolina. He was their main weapon. Here will be one of many. I like that thought process for sure. Nicholas says, will he play this Sunday? That I'm unclear on, so I'm not going to comment on whether he's going to play Sunday or not. This is a little late in the week for him to be able to pick up the offense and such. I mean, Kyle Shanahan could definitely give him a crash course if he wanted. Sure, he has to pass a physical, get across country. There's a lot that goes into it, but the good news is he will be available for the Rams game, and that's the big one. That's the real big one. So Luke says Mitchell is RB2. That's obvious, and maybe now he stays more healthy. A definite rotation is going to keep him healthy, so I do like that. Marvin says, remember when Ditka traded all those New Orleans picks for running back? Can I remember the guy's name? I remember it exactly. It was Ricky Williams that he gave up all those picks for. It was ridiculous, the amount of picks he gave up for him. Ernest says, let's go. And I called Ant at the beginning of the year in preseason, and you guys told me I was crazy. Well, there you go, Ernest. I'll give you credit. You said it. You deserve credit. I thought you were crazy. I thought it was crazy earlier this week. I thought it was crazy when I made the thumbnail just a couple days ago. So congratulations, Ernest, on being right. I'm glad you were because now we get him. So, yeah. And Marvin says, bring Randy Cross out of retirement. I love Randy Cross, by the way. Frank says the McCaffreys and Shanahan's go way back. They do. I mean, there's a reason Kyle Shanahan wore 87 at Texas. Yeah, it's crazy. And Long Time says just got in. What's the news break? What was traded? So here's the deal, Long Time. According to Ian Rappaport, the 49ers acquired Christian McCaffrey for a 2023 second round, third round, fourth round pick, and a 2024 fifth round pick. I don't know if that's going to eventually adjust, but that's the initial report from Ian Rappaport. But they get the running back that they're looking for, but boy, did they give up a lot. 3 picks in 2023, 1 pick in 2024. That's a lot. And JLE says babysitting CMC again for Kyle. Yeah, they just made that, right? They just had that big conversation about that when the Niners played Denver and they did that story. So yeah, and Mr. Corey says hopefully the Debo running back stuff has ended. McCaffrey, Mitchell, Ty Davis, Price, Wilson is enough. I don't think it's ended. I think what it's going to do now, Mr. Corey, is evolve. With the addition of CMC, you put more pressure on defenses personnel-wise because either one of them are interchangeable in the backfield. And like I said, if you put Elijah Mitchell out there too, they could both line up as wide receiver or they could both end up in the backfield. The movement and the things you're able to do, you just added another queen. Deebo Samuel's a queen on your chessboard because you can move him anywhere, and you just added another one. Imagine being able to play chess and you have two queens. Pretty tough to deal with, and that's what the 49ers are trying to do with this move. I love it. But I think it does evolve what Deebo Samuel's involvement in the offense looks like. I think he's going to get even more creative. The one of the worst things for the league is when you give a guy with a creative mindset more opportunity to create. That's what he wanted to do with Trey Lance. Lance, of course, is hurt, but now they're going a different way. An offense that needed to be built with the outside zone run game, putting stress on linebackers to be able to run horizontally, and that way Jimmy Garoppolo can throw the ball the way he needs. So it's definitely one of those things. T.O. says, use the Dolphins doctor for the physical passing guaranteed. Love that, by the way. That was very solid. Frank says, going all in, time to start my plumbing business. I love that. Oh, what did they acquire? What did they acquire to get McCaffrey? So I don't know if you just heard what I said, but what's up, traffic? They gave up a 2023 second. Gave up all like the Rams. Yeah, 2023 second, 2023 third, 2023 fourth, and a 2024 fifth. What a huge move. It's huge. And Mr. Course says, folks on 49er sites joking McCaffrey got hurt reading about the trade. That's wrong. Don't you dare. Let's not even put that on. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Not that. And traffic says, this is huge. Didn't expect this. I didn't either. Even though I kind of, sometimes I will make things in advance, like thumbnails and stuff, just in case. And a couple days ago, I was like, you know what? I need to make one for McCaffrey just in case. I just had this weird feeling. But even when I saw the news come through, when I got all the text messages on my phone, I still didn't believe it. I just didn't. And then it happened. So a Jag with a $2 super chat says, definitely helps Jimmy G, makes us more explosive. It does. What a weapon. And that's going to make it easier on Deebo, easier on Brandon Ayuk, easier on Elijah Mitchell, easier on the offensive line. Huge move. Traffic says, F them picks, John Lynch. That's the new quote from Lynch as well now. Luke says, Bills are dynamic, but they're one-dimensional. We are far more dangerous, especially if we get halfway healthy on defense. And the Bills wanted Christian McCaffrey. The 49ers went and took him. Imagine if that matchup happens, a Chris Berman Bowl, if the Niners played the Bills in the Super Bowl. That would be interesting, especially if McCaffrey's the one that makes some big plays. Interesting, right? It's just getting more interesting. And Jerome says they fleeced the Panthers to get CMC without giving up a first. Worth multiple first-round picks. Oh, I thought they were looking for a first two for Jerome, so there you go. I mean, maybe it's that point of view, right? They gave up a second, third, and fourth, but they didn't have to give up a one. They didn't give up that 2024 one, so maybe that's good. Marvin Rose says, Niners win the Super Bowl. Jimmy gets to name his terms on a contract. Ooh, Marvin's ready to bring someone. Do you bring Jimmy back? You letting him walk? I'm curious about that. Brad Jones says, and the reason I know this is a good move is because Cones told them don't trade for him. I wonder, I haven't got to see what any of them are talking about, but I don't know if they're going to have the same reaction. I'm excited about it. So I'm thinking about all the creative things. But yeah, I'm curious what ends up coming out of 49ers land in general. JL says, which other thumbnails have you made already? A D tackle? Yes, I have. So JLE, I'll say I have an Ndamukong Suh one ready just in case. So I have made that. I have made a couple other ones. I'll keep those ones kind of separate. Bad Monkey says, breaking, Cowboys signed DJ Moore. Wouldn't have to trade for DJ Moore. So I don't know if that is confirmed or not. We'll see. He says, oh my God, the Cowboys are trading for DJ Moore. Good for them if they are. That's a good move for the Cowboys. I mean, they need help on the wide receiver room, I guess. Traffic says, does he start Sunday? I don't think he starts. I think they're going to have to continue to work him in. I don't even know if he plays this week. So, yeah, and Mr. Carter says, Berman picked 49ers vs. Bills Super Bowl for 10 years straight. It was hilarious. Absolutely liked it. So, yeah. Long time since I think Lynch is thinking this team will get 2 third-round picks when D'Amico becomes a head coach somewhere. I think so, too. And they know some of the players are going to leave. Probably Azeez Al-Shire. You might lose Jimmy Ward. Even Jimmy Garoppolo, right? You lose some of those guys. And if you do, you're getting comp picks back for most of them. So the 49ers are going to accumulate some picks in the next, off season. Will it make up for the ones you gave up? No. But if Christian McCaffrey was to leave too, you would get comp picks for him as well. So there's a variety of different ways. And they had 8 picks in this upcoming draft. They gave away 3. They still have 5 picks left. And yeah, they're going to accumulate a couple more comp picks along the way. So, and Marvin's saying, bring him back. Okay, I like that. Mr. Corey says, Grant Cohn said the Rams get him because he's injury prone. That didn't work out for the Rams. And the Rams apparently lowballed OBJ. So Odell Beckham doesn't seem to be going there either. Kansas City is freeing up some money, reworking Kelsey's deal to try to make something happen. Teams are seeing what's going on. If you take a look at the landscape of the NFC, there is no team besides the Eagles that has really distanced themselves. The Eagles are doing fantastic. I think the NFC East is playing pretty well, but right now it's within grasp, right? You're a couple players away, and really for the 49ers, they're health away from being a legitimate force in the league. Now they are translating their offense from an offense that was led, by Trey Lance to an offense led by Jimmy Garoppolo, and they have to be a lot different the way you go about building them and executing offense. But I think that's what they're working towards. Here comes the outside zone. Here comes those things again. So yeah, it's going to be good. And Marvin says, well, that old saying, the rich get richer. I love that. Ernest says, Coach Shanahan likes running game, and Christian McCaffrey is one of the best at it. They go hand in hand, peanut butter and jelly. I love it. And you know what? That's the thing. In 2019, over 1,300 yards rushing, over 1,000 yards receiving. Fantastic. And what's up, Jay? We were just talking about Christian McCaffrey. I said I wouldn't give up too much, but they made it. They went ahead and went all in. It's crazy. It's really crazy. And Shylock comes through with the 49ers are all in this season. It's do or die for Kyle Shanahan. And Frank says, you guys should be bragging about Ant on the other sites. A real coach's perspective. Thank you so much, Frank. Appreciate that so much. Always. And Mr. Corey comes to a DJ Moore has not been traded. I didn't think he would. To be honest with you, I thought McCaffrey was a possibility. I didn't think they were going to trade Brown. I don't think they're going to end up trading Brian Burns either. I think those guys are very enticing to a new coach coming in. But Christian McCaffrey, I could see at this point in his career, the amount of money he was owed, they were going to get a lot of draft capital back. And let's be honest, Carolina needs to lose some football games this year so that way they could get a really good draft pick coming up. Brad Jones says, only question is for this offense is center. And I'm with you. The center position is going to be something the 49ers have to figure out over the next few weeks because, Jake Brendel just hasn't been getting it done. He hasn't been executing at a high level. And the 49ers, they need to execute in that center position. So hopefully they do. Hopefully they start executing at a high level. Some of that could be Daniel Brunskill. Maybe they call Alex Mack, like, Luke Luna and others have brought up to me. So maybe that would happen. I think that could be a way to go. So it could, maybe. Let's see. Long time says, imagine how happy CMC is getting out of Carolina and playing in his old stomping grounds. I'm sure he's super excited about the potential to play for Kyle Shanahan in this offense. Yeah, it's going to be so exciting to watch. I'm really happy. I'm really happy. When I got the text, I didn't believe it at first. I'm doing all my checks. Adam Schefter. Oh, yeah, that's legit Adam Schefter's account because I don't know how many of you guys know. On Twitter, there's a lot of fake Schefters. And I'm like, oh, Ian Rappaport, yes. And then I'm getting all the text messages. And when Jay Hill sent me some of the official stuff, I'm like, okay, here we go. So definitely excited about McCaffrey coming. And Brad Jones says, I think the change at center happens in the bye week. I'm with you. That's the best opportunity to do so. So I do like that. Randy, how's it going, Randy? Says, I'm thinking that the Niners were working on this. I just think the entire Niners organization is smarter than the Cones. But when you're in the cult, you don't know it. The 49ers organization is really smart. They've made good moves. They've competed. They've been to 2 NFC Championship games. One time they got to the Super Bowl. They've done a really good job this over the tenure. Now I know the overall record doesn't signal that, but I think a lot of coaches would love to have the opportunity to go to NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl. You're in the mix to win. So I think they're doing a pretty good job. And Long Time says, going from bottom of the barrel to Super Bowl contender. You got to love that trade up, right? Going from the worst team in the league all the way to playing for the 49ers and having, being in first place in your division. I'm sure that's something you got to love. Tio says, haven't been here in a while. Is it just Ant alone now? Well, Alex is getting married this weekend. He's been on hiatus since August when he started a new job, and then he had the wedding. So, yeah, it's been me since August on my own. Just rolling through everything. I do shows with some other guys as well during the week. So if you come through, you'll probably see some other guys that I do shows with like that. And Alex is getting married over the weekend. So I'm sure he's really excited about that. I'll be seeing him. I'm going to be at the wedding as well. He's actually getting married on Sunday. So probably going to miss the second half of the Kansas City Chiefs game. No live reaction because of, everything that's going on. But we'll get to that on Monday. Luke says, return of the Mac. He's the man, return of the Mac. Luke is wanting some Alex Mack back in his life. And I would love that as well. And Frank is saying, sign Alex Mack. He just hates training camp. Would love that as well. And, these are the kind of moves that make other people want to play for your football team. And if you're going all in, you might as well go all in and get everyone that you need. So it's going to be fun. And Mr. Corey says, Kyle didn't like Harbaugh stealing the attention this weekend. Right? I wonder how Harbaugh is going to feel about this. A Stanford product is going to overshadow him a little bit. McCaffrey is going to be getting it done. And like Bad Monkey said, McCaffrey's going to look good in a Niners uniform. Man, I can't wait for that. I just want to know what number he's going to wear now. There's not a lot of single digits available. Most of those numbers are taken. So I wonder what they do there. I mean, he could always go with number 21. I think 21, maybe they've been waiting on Frank for that. 23 has been available. I don't know, man. I kind of like McCaffrey in 22, but I don't think he's going to get it from Jeff Wilson Jr. I'm wondering what this number is going to be like. Give me number 14. Do it. Just do it. Do it for me. That'd be funny. And JLE, thanks for saying Ant's holding it down. I really appreciate that. Brad says, what do you think of the Cards game tonight? I didn't get to watch a lot of it, to be honest, with everything going on with the wedding this weekend. I took a lot of time getting stuff ready for the episodes that are coming up tomorrow and the weekend. So I was working hard on that. And I was actually on a little bit of downtime. And then the news came through. So I hopped on here. I haven't got to watch it. I don't know what the final score was. When I was talking to Jay in the Bay earlier when we were doing his show, I know he said it was 28-14. So I don't know what the game ended up being, but I'll probably try to check it out. I have NFL Plus and all that, so I can go back and watch some of the game. Jerome says they'll make Jeff Wilson Jr. give up his number most likely. It's possible. And JLE's saying 34. You know what? I can't see him in 34. What was it? Jeff Wilson Jr. used to wear 30. Maybe Jeff Wilson Jr. would be willing to go back to 30. Yeah, and Ernest says CMC gonna be getting that jersey. I like that. It could be. And what's up, Real PC? How's it going? Says, my opinion, 49ers got taken, period. Gave up way too much, especially for a player who can't stay on the field. A panic and a very unwise move. Call me in a couple months. Hey, you're entitled to your opinion, and that could be the case. It might not end up. The Niners, we might look back at this in a couple months and say the Niners got fleeced. But for the moment, I'm excited about the move. Is it more than I would have gave up for Christian McCaffrey? Yes. But the move has been done, and I'm excited about getting the player. So I'm kind of rolling with it. But definitely, Payne, you're allowed to feel that way, think that, and you could be right. And you know what? Like I tell everyone that comes through, in a couple of months, if it doesn't work out, come back and tell me, and I'll remember this situation. I'll say, you know what? Payne came through and said it, and they were right. So just remember, I have no problems with you being right. You can ask anyone in chat. I like to give props to when people are right. And so if you come back through, let me know. And Brad Jones says CMC gets 22. Jeff Wilson Jr. goes back to 30. And George Odom can wear whatever is left. Maybe he goes to 34. Mr. Corey said it was 42-34 Arizona. Ouch. A lot of scoring in that game. Interesting. I didn't expect it to be that high scoring. But I mean, Arizona gets a big win. They needed it. They really did need that win. If not, they were going to be, getting close to Cliff being out of here pretty soon. So it's tough. Long time since CMC has the money to buy 22 off Wilson. He does. He has the cash to make it happen. And Frank says CMC is injured because he was a bell cow back for Carolina. In San Francisco, he'll be moved around, less hits. Yeah, it could be. It could be more. It could be less hits for a lot of players, including Elijah Mitchell and Deebo Samuel. Because of Christian McCaffrey, they might actually share the amount of hits and contact that they have with the touches. Good point, Frank. Warren, what's up, Warren? Says maybe he wears 5. Trey Lance is out for the year so he could get back to his college number since he's back in the Bay. That would be interesting. I don't know if they'll be willing to touch that number. And then Jay always comes with Dexter's old number 35. Wow, Dexter Carter. Interesting. Oh, wow. And Ernest says, you guys are all the same. The Niners won't go all in. And now that they did with the picks they acquired, you're saying they're not doing enough? I don't know, Ernest. I think it's great that they did it. I'm excited they went all in. I figured at some point they'd have to, but the way that they normally handle business, this isn't the normal way they go. So it's a little bit different. Brad says 2 picks, 6s by Cards, defense in the final 2 minutes of second quarter. That's big. That hurts. KNDR says, at least I won't have to trade for him in Madden anymore. There you go. Yeah, exactly. I know I have a Madden sim coming out tomorrow. Christian McCaffrey is not in that Madden sim, but he will be in the Rams one, so I got to go make that happen this week. So, yeah, that would be great. And Frank says, hell, I would have given them for Emmanuel Sanders. F them picks. I like the attitude. It's fun. Very fun. And Mr. Court says, even if McCaffrey gets injured, this was worth the swing. We have a lot of young talent already and worried about non-first round picks. Shows they're trying to win. I like the signal, and I hope it works. I hope they win. And it's something to be excited about. As fans, we get to be excited about 49ers football and a real weapon like Russell Peterson saying you're finally a weapon that Jimmy can get the ball to. Christian McCaffrey can make plays. It was just against the 49ers a couple weeks ago. He ran the sweep out to the outside. I made Hufanga miss in open space. So, yeah, really good. And Luke says, we're excited now. Don't talk injuries. He's under contract and explosive. There's a reason he's top fantasy guy, and that's without playing for Kyle. I hope he stays healthy because he could be doing some big-time things. Daryl says, throw in Jimmy as a bonus. Just kidding. I love that, Daryl. That was funny. Paul says, think of pairing him with Trey next year with a dynamic combination. Didn't even think about that yet, Paul, but you're right. If they could do something with McCaffrey for a long time, he can make plays with Trey Lance next year. So thinking about the future, always a good idea. Frank says, I don't give a crap what number he wears as long as he's in uniform in red and gold. I think a lot of people can feel that way. And Bad Monkey says, Cowboys fan here, and OMG, CMC and Debo is scary. It definitely is, and it's an exciting time in Santa Clara with the 49ers. They made a big move, guys. They did it. They made a huge move. Went out and got McCaffrey. Did it cost a lot? Yeah, it did. It cost a lot, but they got it done, and it's exciting. And now we get to hear what Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have to say about it all, and it's going to be fun. But I'm going to check out now. Thanks, everyone, for coming through. All the day ones, everyone that's been holding it down over the last several months. You guys are in here every single day. Everyone that came back, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to hearing from you guys again. But it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun week, and I'm excited about all of it. Until then, though, guys, stay safe, and remember the right way is always the 49ers way.